Welcome everyone. New week. A little later than usual. Feels like forever. I don't know about
Yeah,
you.
it's been a minute, and plus we were kind of early last week too, and
Yeah,
then
we were
now to go
early
like and then
and
not,
then
it
this.
averages out. It
Exactly.
averages out.
Right? I
Averages
think
out.
that's what we're doing. Yeah. If you're keeping tabs on us, so we're gonna be back on track. Well, actually no, probably not because Austin's leaving us for like a
Hey, that's on
month.
me. Nah, it's only 2 weeks.
Oh, but yeah, man. Austin Ollie, the sports podcast. It's gonna be a good one today. Probably a little shorter than usual. You guys are probably happy about that, but a
Yeah,
lot to talk about with Rangers and the damn ALCS. Dallas Mavericks right around the corner. Preseason starting, already in midseason form, being winning list. So that's awesome. We got
Cowboys
NFL
midseason form too.
midseason
Cowboys
form, or
midseason
their
form.
postseason form. I say
Yeah,
postseason form
yeah.
if I'm being
Already,
honest.
already. Yeah.
And then we can talk a little bit of FC Dallas if we get to that, because they're nearing the brink of the end of their season. But yeah, what you got going, or what did you do this past long ass week?
Yeah. Let's see. This weekend didn't do. I guess I did a lot actually. Now that I think about it, I was gonna say I didn't do anything, but Emily and I went to Dallas on Saturday morning. Went to go with some of our friends of ours that are OU fans. So we watched a little bit of OU Texas out
Oh
in a
yeah, I
couple
forgot that was
bars,
this weekend.
couple
Yeah.
bars in Dallas. It was pretty sick. It's a lot of fun. So good to hang out with some friends, and then also get out to Dallas. We don't get out to Dallas very often, so that's pretty nice. And then yeah, and other than that, like just chilling. Saturday night, Sunday was pretty lazy, and then obviously right. I mean, kind of hit on it a little bit later, but went over to your crib and watched the game, and was thoroughly disappointed, but it was still a good time hanging out with the homies and family and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, it was a long ass week. Fuck to think about.
Yeah, so think to go that far back, right?
I know, right? Friday had to work. I think it was just lazy Friday. Oh, we went to for Brian's birthday. We went to Friday. Went
Oh,
to
yeah,
Truck Yard. So we
yeah,
were
that's right.
chilling, and then Saturday night we went out to PBR out in Texas Live.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Got on the mechanical bull. I'm still sore as fuck from my
Hey,
thighs,
bro,
dude. I'm
you didn't ride
so
it?
sore. I rode that
Oh
shit, bro.
no. Pause.
No, no homo. I rode the fuck out of that hoe. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, yo.
But my legs took a toll, bro. My legs took a toll.
Hey, that's good.
And so we did that. It was fun. And then Sunday, I don't recall watching any football. So we
No, I
went.
wish I didn't.
No,
I didn't watch any football Saturday or Sunday. If you really think about it,
I was like, yeah, there was no football this weekend. I think it
No
was just
football.
baseball, just strictly
Yeah, it's
baseball.
just baseball.
It's October.
That's it.
Like, why would you watch any other sport?
Why would
Anyways,
you watch anything else? Why would you watch
clearly
anything
that's
else?
what the Cowboys and TCU were doing, keeping tabs on
Yeah,
the
they weren't.
Rangers.
They were not playing football. I'll tell you that much. Not playing football.
But yeah, that's what my weekend was. Pretty lazy, like you said. Nothing,
Yeah, it's
nothing
pretty
too
chill.
crazy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm glad it was chill. Took the last little bit of it while I could, because this weekend we have like a wedding coming up, and then literally after the wedding we were catching a plane basically. So yeah, it'll be pretty crazy. So
yeah,
but yeah, man. Well, you want to get into a little bit of the good news, the good start of the podcast, the good part of the podcast.
Good news. Let's do it.
Yeah,
all right.
Kick it off, baby.
We want Houston, is what the Rangers fans were yelling on Tuesday.
Do you want Houston?
No. It's too late now. I stopped it. I was like, you would hear like a little bit because I was at the game on Tuesday, and you could hear a little bit. Yeah, just a subtle flex. I was there at the
throw it in there,
to the only third ALCS ever. So I was there at that game, and yeah, the atmosphere was crazy. And like towards the end of the game, obviously everyone's getting comfortable. You're up 7-1.
Yeah,
and like you start hearing like we want Houston, and I'm like,
nah, you got it.
I was literally looking around. I asked Raul, my cousin, I was like, what are they saying? He's like, bro, I think they're chanting that they want Houston. I was like, we? Who's we?
we.
I was like, the Cowboys want to play the Texans? The Cowboys want to play the Texans?
I don't know. Right now, they probably get cooked.
You're right. CJ Stroud probably put a little show on. But yeah, I was literally telling you, I was like, no, I was like, tell these people to stop. First of all, every time you chant that you want blank, always goes terrible.
Never works out.
Always terrible. Second, Houston has been fucking you with the last like 8-10 years.
Yeah, I think they were 4-9 this year. Yeah, I think we were 4-9 against them this season.
That's crazy. 4-9.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
then for them to champ for that was crazy. But let's get to the good stuff again. So, yeah, I mean, we talked last week, and it was no games had
Yeah,
happened
they'd
yet,
already
right? Or had they already
no,
started?
they had just won game 1 of the wild card. So, and then
Okay,
they were
okay.
getting ready for game 2. So,
There you
yeah, I
go.
guess
Okay.
since we've been back, right? They swept the Rays, 99 win team. They
Mm-hmm.
swept the Orioles, 101 win team. So I think that's good. Is that good?
I'd like
I
to
think
think
that's
so. 5-0 in playoffs,
I think
and
that's pretty good.
your starting rotation has been amazing, and your bullpen hasn't
You
fucked up
better
yet.
knock on some wood, bro.
That's where I'm
Better knock
putting
on
it
some wood. Knock
because
on some
they've been
wood,
on the
bro.
brink. Chapman really scared me on that last game,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Spores and everyone else in the closeout game against. Or not the
Against
close. It was the first
against
game. It was the first game in
against
Baltimore
Baltimore.
where they were
Yeah, the
scaring me. Yeah,
3-2. Yeah, the 3-2 was
Sport. Yep.
tight.
Yeah, and they did it, bro. They won a one-score game. I am very surprised, and
Yeah.
ever since then, you still haven't had to do that yet. You know, your starting pitching has been really good, and your offense has been tearing it up. So you haven't had to
Yeah, and
test
I think
the pitching yet.
yeah, and I think that's come at like such a good time, right? Because obviously, right? We have John Gray's still hurt. Scherzer's still hurt. So we're
Mm-hmm.
down on starting pitching right now. So, and obviously, right, the bullpen's been the worst part of our team all season, and I mean, almost a historic rate of blowing saves. So to be able to have your starting pitching go as deep as they have been, right? With Eovaldi went deep yesterday. Just pretty much every single starting pitcher that you had, like having a good game, with the exception of what was it the game 2? Who
Montgomery
started
did
game 2?
get lit
Yeah,
up.
Montgomery. He
Game
got lit up
two.
game 2. So
Yeah.
like with the exception of that, it's been 4 great starts. And so that like one that saves innings on your bullpen, that allows the offense to kind of do what they need to do to get a little bit of a lead, to give the bullpen a little cushion, which I think throughout the season we've kind of seen that that's what we need. And
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of been as good as it can be, and it's almost like you're waiting for the other ball to drop, which sucks. But I think this is like, and then we have an extra day's rest on Houston going into Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, could we see some of the starting pitchers that are hurt come back?
I heard John Gray will probably be. He's eligible to get activated. I don't think he'll be a starter. He'll definitely probably be the guy to replace Matt Bush. Hopefully, we have the privilege not to see him yet. Thank God.
Thank goodness.
We have not been able to see him yet, so he'll probably be another like long reliever. And Scherzer threw his sim game today. I heard he was feeling good, but Bochy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't really said anything odd about it.
Okay.
I think he just heard that Scherzer felt fine, like he felt great.
That's good news.
I don't know how much
Game 3
starter
started.
Put him.
Game 3 started.
I don't know. Game what?
Because what? Game 3? Game 4?
If it were to be, probably be game 3. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I know people would probably want him game 1 because Verlander Scherzer.
I was gonna say, could you imagine Verlander Scherzer? How crazy that would be.
I could, but I can't because realistically, we'll probably only get.
They're not gonna start a game.
A good like 3 or 4 innings from Scherzer if he were to play.
Yeah.
And that's like him being like on a really good pitch count, like just really like yeah, and like on. So I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't know. Let's just keep talking good, man. I had fucking goosebumps, bro, on the game.
Yeah, talk about the game. Talk
Tuesday.
about the game. How was that?
Pull up. They gave me a little rally towel. I couldn't get you a rally towel, bro, because they handed them out the front.
That's right.
And I was like, can I get an extra one? And she was like, no, we have too many people coming. And they had boxes on boxes on boxes of towels. I was like, are you serious right now?
I did see that was like an all-time record at the stadium. I think it was like 40,000.
It was
800 or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, whatever it was the most ever at Globe Life.
That's so sick, dude. And like,
it was insane.
Yeah, I remember feeling like the old ballpark, like how it like kind of got rocking and stuff like that. But like, I can only imagine now that the new place, like it's indoors, all that, like the roof was closed, like all the sound just kind of stays like trapped in. And then obviously, right, you have all the stuff with like Creed and how everybody's like kind of hyped up right now. Like, I think that I could only imagine how live it was. Like this, the videos, and I think I sent you a tweet of it, of like the Adolis like home run, and it just had the crowd noise. And you can just hear, you can just hear like the crack of the bat, and then just he just pimps it, and then everybody's just going bananas.
Oh, dude, just
And
even
it's like
thinking
one of
about it
those-
right now, bro.
Yeah,
That's how I'm
it's like
feeling.
one of those. It's like one of those things where it's like you just are so lucky to be in that moment, and then like that's one of those like the just roars of a crowd that you kind of feel like you kind of hear, and just like you can be like, dang, like that was unbelievable.
Yeah, even just from the beginning, from national anthem, I was already feeling it. I told her, I was like, look at me, bro. Like, look at me. Got goosebumps, bro. And then I recorded the first pitch, and then I was recording the Corey Seager at bat.
Yeah,
And then he went 1-1, and I was like, it's like, you know what? Maybe, I mean, he hasn't homered all postseason. Like, like I'm gonna just put the phone down. Next pitch,
Hey,
absolutely pisses on one, bro. Stadium goes crazy. That's when I got the most goosebumps. Everyone's loud, everyone's cheering.
Yeah,
I lost my voice after the Corey Seager home run. Like, I was
no,
already
I
cooked.
can imagine. I can
was
imagine,
cooked.
bro. Did you get a pizza dog?
They had a chicken parm dog.
Ooh, I bet that was gas.
I tried that because it was one of the newer stuff they had for the ALDS.
The ALCS, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to get that. I got the chicken parm dog. Oof.
I bet that was gas.
She went crazy, bro.
Dang.
But I
The
mean,
glizz in the
fans
throat
throughout
was
the whole game,
wild.
bro, were all right. I'll do it again. I'm not ashamed.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, fans from beginning to end, man, were just insane. They had us
That's
like,
awesome, dude.
I don't know if you saw, there was like an article of like the top, like the last 8 teams remaining and where they rank with like their fans and stuff. Like, we have people
Mhm.
show up. We know that.
Yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
always been like, that's the best atmosphere I've ever been at. Any game. I've been to a Cowboy game.
That's sick. Yeah,
Plenty
that's
of Ranger
sick.
games. We've been to a Mavericks playoff game,
Yeah.
and nothing compared to what it was. That, bro, everyone was loud, and then getting Eovaldi too to get to get him to come out, the curtain call.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
sick,
so mad I
dude.
didn't get that on video, bro. But I was just like, I was in the moment. It was just like, the loudest it ever was when he came out for the curtain call, and it was just like, damn, like this is, people get this on the regular basis, like almost 162 games, you know, or the 81 games you get at home, like Philly and just stuff like that. Like, the fans are good like this all year round, and just to prove people wrong that we can do it.
Yeah, it's like infectious too, right? That like you see it, and I feel like everybody that was there, like they feel it, and they feel how like infectious something like that is, and it just makes you want to come back, and it's just like such a good experience that you just want this to be every single week, like you're saying, right? Like how Philly is, or how some of like these like baseball crazy cities are, where they're just like nonstop, like just outstanding fans, and it's one of those things that you just always want.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, bro. It was unforgettable experience. I'd do it again, but now with the
100%.
ALCS prices, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah,
ALCS prices are crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy, right? And then
Yeah.
they're probably like, because they already probably went on sale too. So
Exactly.
Hey, if you saw, I think tomorrow at 10 a.m. they're selling like last minute like singles and standing room only, and I bet those might be a decent price. So
check that out. Yeah, I was even debating on going to Houston this weekend, bro.
Hey, yeah, that's not a bad move.
But
either.
the game's at 7. If I could leave Friday or Saturday,
yeah.
Game's at 7. I wouldn't drive back until Monday. That's another day of work.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So getting into the ALCS, kind of, what do you think? How you looking at, or how you feel going into it? I know, obviously, right? Houston's been in what now, 7 in a row or something crazy like
7 in a row ALCS.
Yeah, and then this is Texas's first since 2011, third ever. I think you'd already mentioned that. So yeah. So what are you thinking? What do you think? Kind of some of the, where's Texas going to be at advantage? Where's Houston going to be at advantage? Kind of stuff like that.
You've heard me all season, bro. I've been not pessimistic, but just try to keep my ground, especially after going 5-0 and sweeping 2 teams like that with like 100 plus or close to 100 wins, both teams. And I don't know. I mean, it just shows you the roller coaster that we've been. A couple weeks ago, we blew the division. You win 1 game when you were supposed to win, or you had to win 2, and you only win 1. You get lucky, you still clinch. And you put yourself in jeopardy going on the craziest road trip probably in history ever for any MLB team.
Yeah,
like I forgot what the distances was, but you're like from Seattle to Tampa, and then you pass home and you have to go to fucking Baltimore. And you come back for 1 game only, which you wanted to only play 1 home game. As much as you want to play at home, you wanted to play 1 more home game, and that's it. And I guess the good thing is it's Houston, so you don't feel like it's terrible. I mean, you're still not going to feel at home. Because it's fucking Houston.
Yeah.
Fucking armpit. It's nasty. But how we compare with these guys is just, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm scared. Like, if you put it on paper, like,
Yeah.
Astros are the better team. They have the better pitching staff from bullpen wise. They have a solidified closer. And fun fact, did you know I was gonna say Elvis Presley. What's your reliever's name? Something Presley.
I can look it up for you.
Gosh, okay. Well, I was gonna say Elvis Presley, but Presley, he's from DFW, but he's also like 5th amongst closers for most like saves ever in the postseason.
That's crazy.
You know how many he has?
Yeah, and it was. How many does he have?
How many do you think he has for top 5?
Top 5? I'd probably say like probably in the 60s. I'd probably say somewhere in the 60s or 50s. I don't know. No, that's a lot. That's a lot. Let me bring it back. That's a lot. I was gonna bring it down.
He has 13 postseason saves, and he's top 5.
That's crazy.
I think Mariano Rivera is like in like the 60s, 70s.
Okay,
or like
he was so long.
50s or some shit like that. But yeah, but it just shows you like, damn, it shows you how good Mariano Rivera is, and just like, I don't want to say it's not valuable, but just I guess how the closing role has been now recently. I mean, you got guys like Duran with Minnesota, which is an absolute fucking dog. He went 2 innings yesterday for Minnesota, and he made Jordan Alvarez look stupid. One of the best hitters in the game, just making him look dumb with his splitter and fastball. But yeah, if you compare it like that, I think like, I mean, but if your offense stays hot like this, you don't have to put too much pressure on your pitching. Then, hey, and like, it's gonna be personal, obviously, and I don't know how much the national media is gonna like understand how big this rivalry is. Because think about it, they were in the National League for so long, and they finally come and they're in our division, and then they just, big bro us since I don't know when. Obviously, all
since they've been back, basically,
this dynasty stuff with them. So I don't think, and then just like in general, if you think about just DFW and Houston, like just that in general is enough history to put those two guys and just like, this is what you wanted to see. But as a Rangers fan, I was like, I wanted Minnesota. But, you got your team in, and like, you got here for a reason. If they can stay hot, and I'm going to have my confidence in Bochy. He's done almost perfect, I want to say, decisions here in the postseason, from lineup, from people bitching about him, having Grossman at 3, putting Garver in, moving up Evan Carter, starting Heaney out of the fucking blue on a game one of your ALDS. And then you combo with Dane Dunning, and then putting in Cody Bradford in the second game gets you like 2-something innings and just looks amazing.
Yeah, he cooks.
Yes. So he's been, I want to say, even like just perfect. So, I mean, just from the coaches to the players, everything's like, this year's can be really good, I think. But then it's baseball. We'll talk about Dodgers later and Braves, how you can get cold. And I don't know. You have the 5 days off, like you said. You have one more day extra. I don't know if that's going to affect them in a good or a bad way for the Rangers.
Yeah, and I think that kind of having like, I mean, a month ago, right? We were sitting here like, oh, are we even going to make the playoffs? And I think one of your hot takes was that, I mean, that the Rangers aren't even going to make the playoffs, right? And then the very next week, like, oh, Rangers going to win the division and go deep. And it's just like, this team, I think all season, especially since the All-Star break, has just been so streaky. And it's, you don't really know what you're going to get. And so right now, I mean, we're on a hot streak, and I am concerned because we haven't had really many days off since the Seattle loss, where we lost the division, right? And that was the only thing they could do is like, hey, like, we're in the playoffs, we're in the dance, like, you just got to go. And they've been going nonstop. And then now they like get home, they're able to be home, hang out with the family, stuff like that, kind of get back on track, which is nice for the rest portion. But I'm worried that streak that they have, I mean, the offense has been cooking. I just, is it going to stay? But I think the one thing that you kind of mentioned that I'm pretty optimistic about is Bochy, because I think this is the reason why we hired him, right? We hired him because he's a winner. He knows he trusts analytics, but like at the end of the day, he also like has all that experience, and he just trusts feel too. When he just like, he feels like somebody's going to be like just going to go, he's going to stick with his gut and he's going to do it. And I think that's something that, like, somebody like Bochy, who just has that, like, that mentality and that demeanor and just the confidence, and just exudes and spreads over the entire team. And like, you have somebody like Austin Hedges too, who's just like an ultimate vibes guy, like
Dude,
just on the bench. He's not going to get in the
what a
game,
dog.
not
Uh-huh.
not going to get in the game,
You're
and
carrying
then
3
you see him
catchers in your postseason roster,
for no
dropping
reason.
a position player or pitcher just to have
Yeah,
Hedges in.
yeah, just to have him there, and he's that vibes guy, and he's just like, I think that's just like it's such a perfect storm to where you just feel like you have something special. And it's weird, and it's because you're like facing, the big bad giant, right? In Houston, the team that that has Big Brother, just like you said, the last 8 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh well, like okay, well we have a winning manager, we have the vibes in the clubhouse, we're hot right now, pitching's looking okay, bullpen, has had their troubles all year, but like you said last week,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing about the postseason, season starts over. Your record's fresh, it's brand new.
Exactly.
We don't have a blown save in the postseason yet. Knock on wood. So
Oh, God.
yeah, just not. You better knock on some wood. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I think this has been a different team since the playoffs started, and it's winning these 1-run games. I mean, I think the first game of the wild card was a 1-run game. First game of the division series was a 1-run game. So just having that calmness under pressure and having that ability, like, hey, you have Bochy, you have vibes in the clubhouse that like everything's gonna go right, and you're gonna stay, and we're not gonna sweep our way to the World Series. There's no means, and you're gonna hit some roadblock where you drop a game that you shouldn't drop or something like that. But like just the ability to bounce back, the ability to have your pitching like say, okay, like, hey, we had one bad outing, let's get back out there the next day, let's do it again. And I think that's where I'm optimistic with this next series, and I'm optimistic with, I mean, like you said, Bochy hasn't given us a reason to doubt him yet. So I think, I mean, it's a fun time to be a fan. It's a fun time to I wish I was going to be here for the series, because I mean it's going to be unbelievable, yeah. But still, like it's going to be sick, and especially with the rivalry that you got going on and between the two, like I think it's going to be toxic. It's going to be sick. It's going to be a lot of shit talk. I mean, it's going to be awesome, dude. And, the national media, I think I've saw like so many tweets where it's like the screenshot of Houston, Texas is like, oh, like not a single big, like ratings are going to drop because it's not two big media markets. It's not New York, or it's not, I mean, but like the thing is, like, you're telling me that Baltimore making it to the World Series or making it to the ALCS like moves the needle? Like Baltimore's a smaller city than DFW is. Mm-hmm. Minnesota is smaller than DFW. So like all that stuff just doesn't make any sense, right? Like I don't see how this isn't a bigger story than it is, because I mean you have
it's a massive story.
It's massive. It's massive because you have two like division rivals. They've played each other 13 times this year. Like just bad blood. They had, I mean, what was it, in the middle of the summer? They had that like scuffle, like Simeon shit talking.
It's personal,
like,
dude. It's personal.
It's personal, and it's like, how is this not something that every baseball fan is like? This is what I want to see.
You got to be itching for this, dude. Like, as much as I didn't want it, but I was like, this is so good for the game. This is what it's about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know, bro. I'm pumped. I think it's gonna be a 6 series. I mean, I'm gonna try and catch what I can. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be 8 hours ahead or whatever. So I think the only game that I will be able to watch is probably Sunday while I'm on the plane. Yeah. So like, I'll be able to watch that one. But I mean, I can't wait to see your text messages like after the game and be like, hey, we looked good, or like Kyle's going crazy, like.
I'm gonna get you a little report going on, man. Hopefully,
that's what I need.
I'm praying it's good. So yeah, but talking about you brought up Hedges. Did you hear the post game like speech from Bochy when like before the champagne?
No, what did he say?
And they were talking. So he like says, "Okay, enjoy this one, blah blah blah," and he goes, and Hedges, what's the number on your ass? Say, and they just start going crazy. So everyone wants to find out what the hell is on Austin Hedges' ass. Like, you think he's yadded? Like he has like just fucking tally marks for every win?
He might. Maybe
or he has like a magic number, or like
maybe he's got just like a little like Sharpie or something like that he changes. He like scribbles out.
Oh my god!
What was it? Who was he celebrating with? Max Scherzer, right? Just has a Scherzer like Max. I'm gonna pull my pants down. Will you scribble it out, add a tally mark or something like that?
Oh, I mean, like, bro, we've been part of locker rooms. Like, we know how it is, but it's like, just like, I guess in a professional setting, you wonder if it ever just like matures. But like, you see it, like, everyone's still like, I think might be in the same we're in high school, college.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, just the ultimate, like, just the great vibes. Like everybody's up right now, and I think that that's something that's
Mhm.
so important to having a good locker room or clubhouse, like being in just like good morale and like confident and excited and happy to go to the stadium every day. Like when you're in a slump, like or when you're losing 8 in a row as we did, like the mood inside the clubhouse fucking sucks. Like it's you're not excited. You're like, oh my gosh, like just can't swing a bat. I mean, I can't place my pitch right. Like curveball's not breaking like it should. Like
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Like now, like vibes are high. Everybody's confident. Everybody's having a good time, and they're excited. They're just playing ball. And then now they're going in like, oh, we have this like big rivalry going on. Like we're playing our in-state rival or in division rival. Like this is something that I think that
And you're
they're
one
going to turn up
series
for.
away from the World Series.
One series away. That's all it is. That's all it is.
4 wins away from a World Series, which is like, I wanted to think that that's what we were like. Not it was like, like first I think it was like at some point it was World Series or bust, but like probably like pushing it a little bit on that, but like the way we were
Yeah,
playing and stuff, and then at
absolutely.
some point we were like, shit, now it's wild card or bust, and then we went back to divisional, the division or bust, and then now it's like, we gotta go to Tampa. Like, are you satisfied? You sweep, and then you're like, are we satisfied here? Like we're playing Baltimore. I told everyone, Rangers Baltimore was almost the same thing as like they were almost the same like organization, the way their history have like just been bad for such a long time. Really good farm system, and it looks like it's going up. Like it looks like they're going all in to do something. I was like, the good thing is, yeah, Baltimore and all those games over there, but they're young. You could even say the Rangers were probably more experienced. I think.
No, they were
with just the older guys, Corey Seager, Simeon.
Corey Seager is all you got to say.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was still like, but it's Baltimore. They won 100 games, and like their fans are awesome. Like it looked awesome there. We shut them up real quick, which is crazy to me still again. And then now it's like, I mean, I don't think I could be satisfied even if we lost this series.
No,
being so close.
I think now, right? You look at it and the final four. I mean, I guess right now, final five. We'll find out tonight if it's going to game 5. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, what's to stop us? Like, what's stopping us? We've beaten a team that won 101 games. We beat a team that won 99 games. Like, why can't we win another 8 games? Why not us?
You gotta feel unstoppable, dude. Yeah, I love it.
Have to.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I'm satisfied at this point if we lose. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, it's okay. Like, no, World Series.
You're here. Like, you're there. You're there. So, and I think that one thing that another player that I want to bring up, you mentioned him, was Corey Seager. Like, you forget that.
Dog.
I mean, he's been like, I think his OPS is like 1.5 or 1,500 or something like that.
5 walks in a game, or he has the most walks ever in a series.
Yeah,
in one game too. In postseason.
Yeah, he had five walks in game 2.
Game 2.
I mean, yeah, how many walks did he have in game 3? Like 5 walks in game 2, right? So just that is unbelievable. But I mean, he's also, when he gets in the postseason, he's a dog. I mean, 2020, he was what? NLCS MVP, World Series MVP. Like, having somebody like that.
He's been here, dude. He's been here.
He's been on the biggest stage. And so what? Like, so what? The 2020 World Series was a COVID series. Still, like, he was on the biggest stage against the best team on, like, and he performed.
What stadium was he doing it at? What stadium was he at?
Globe Life.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's just like, I don't remember who said it, but like, what is it, the old saying, like, big time players make big time plays in big time games. Like, Corey Seager's that guy. Evan Carter proving to be that guy. He's a rookie, but he's still proving to be that guy. Mitch Garver's stepping up. Like I don't know. It's so hard not to be optimistic and be like, okay, like, we genuinely do like have a shot at winning the whole thing. So why not?
We do.
Why not us? Why not us?
And having a powerhouse like the Dodgers go down and the Braves might go down, you might be, if you win this, you might be facing Philly or Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Like,
which I'm still, I'd probably be scared of Philly.
Yeah, I mean, because they have Bryce Harper, right?
We played them they were like our opening series, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it, Philly?
Yeah, but like,
and we swept them, I think.
Say Philly wins, that's 3 teams that are 90-win teams. Dodgers, 87? Yeah, I mean, 3 wild card teams. Houston, Texas, and Philly all won 90 games exactly. Diamondbacks won what 87 maybe. They were the last
I
team in the
think.
playoffs. They're the worst. They're
Mhm.
the worst record of anybody in the playoffs. Like it just shows, man. You get hot at the right time. Like
And if you get
you're cooking.
cold, it's just. I mean,
It's tough.
we'll probably touch on it again, but like your two biggest are Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman go 1 for 21 in the series.
They're like us playing out there. They're like us. Invisible.
Gosh, man, I can't even imagine. Like, imagine like Corey Seager and Simeon hasn't even he hasn't been that hot yet. I don't think he's heated up yet. He's starting to get there. I think.
He's
Yeah, but
been
he's been
pretty
pretty
bad.
bad.
He's been
And
pretty
Lowe
bad
too.
at the plate.
Lowe has been one of our worst hitters, but he finally breaks through with that home run, and I love seeing it.
His
stuff he's going
celebration,
through.
his celebration
Yes,
at the
dude.
end, dude, was
Oh,
unbelievable.
loved it, man. But everything's going the right way, and I just, like you said, I think if you're here, why not win the whole damn thing?
Why not?
Have to.
So, but yeah, man. I think we've kind of hit on a lot of the Rangers. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about before we move on to what's going on over in NL?
Nah, man. Just we'll see what happens with Scherzer. Probably here in a couple days. Probably I don't know when they have to submit like the rosters and stuff. Probably maybe tomorrow.
Sure, I think it was.
Is it tomorrow or Saturday?
It's got to be the day before or the day of. I think it's day before because I think for the ALDS it went down to he had pitched the night before and it was like 9 a.m. before a game. So I'm sure it's Sunday is when the roster will come out. So
yeah,
I'm sure there'll be more news trickling out as this podcast goes out that of like Scherzer felt good. He's good the next day too when the soreness sets in. So
and we'll figure out game one starters too.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be.
I was like, who do you go with?
Got to be like. I would say Dunning.
Like if you were to write it down. For game one.
Let's see. Who pitched game one was Heaney, and that was on what day? What was it? Is it Saturday?
Saturday was game one.
Saturday was game one. Montgomery was game two, and that was Sunday.
Montgomery's on like 6-7 days rest. Like he's on more than enough rest. Eovaldi would be on like regular rest if he pitches.
Yeah, I say that you. I mean, how's Houston against lefties? Are they better against lefties? That's what you have to figure out too.
I think they hit better against lefties. From what I heard today.
Yeah,
they have like an 8 something OPS, I think, against lefties, and like 7 something against righties.
Let's see. Yeah, in the postseason. So in the postseason, their OPS is 760 against righties, which given that's 130 at bats versus they've had 6 at bats against lefties in the postseason, and they have a 2,000 OPS.
My God.
Okay. But that's I mean, again, that's a super small sample size, right?
Yeah.
But if you take it back to the regular season, they have against lefties they have a 800 OPS, like you said, and then righties is 750. So it's a little different, but I don't think it's a big enough difference that it really like says anything. So I don't know, man. I think you probably got to go Monty. I think is probably who you do because it's Monty or Heaney or Eovaldi, and I don't think you do Eovaldi. So I think it's got to be Montgomery. And then
I think so too.
I would assume. I don't know. I mean, because you could go Dunning
too.
Probably
combo it game 3. If that's what you're talking about. I think it has to be Monty or Eovaldi. I don't think Dunning, or unless he comes out of the fucking blue and gives us a Heaney Dunning combo again.
I don't know, bro. Yeah, I don't know.
He be the type, and I'm gonna be like, you know what, Bochy, you're the guy. I trust you. You're smart. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I could see him. My gut says Monty. I think that's my gut, and that's who he says.
Yeah, if I were a betting
starts
man,
game 1. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes with the Dunning Heaney combo game 1 too.
Wow. Yeah, man. Because I mean, it really messes up if you do that with like a lefty and a righty, because you set your lineup up. You set your lineup up to face a lefty, and you bring a righty that's gonna come in for like 3 or 4 innings if he's on one, and that just fucks up your whole lineup. So that's all the stuff they're thinking about.
And I don't know, and I could see it. I could see them going Dunning as a starter too, and just flip flopping.
Yeah, flip flop.
And just flip.
And we haven't even seen Martin Perez pitch this postseason.
That's so crazy. That is so crazy.
And he finished off really nice. Nice.
I mean, watch him run out Cody Bradford game 1.
Hey,
after
Bochy.
how he pitched in game 2. After
He's
like I
got
said,
it.
I mean,
I'm not questioning.
he's
I'm
earned
not
so
questioning.
much. He's earned so much like good grace. I think that you can't really say anything about it. Is my opinion.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing. But like, I mean, it goes wrong. You blame him. I mean, and that's like
yeah,
that's what
he
you
gets
do.
paid
That's
for,
what's
man.
responsibility, and that's what you gotta do, and that's what like yeah. But if it turns out perfect, then like look, shit. Imagine if Heaney would have gotten cranked. You're like, Bochy, you're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Yeah, but it worked out.
No, exactly. So I'm excited. Do you think they lose or no? Or you think they just keep going?
I think they win in 6.
I think that's my prediction too. If I'm being honest, I want to say 6.
They win in 6. I think they win in 6.
Those first 2 games are gonna be crucial. Like we need to split one.
You got to split. Got to split.
You have to.
Got to split. Got to split.
And knowing how good the Astros are on the road,
it's so crazy. I didn't realize that they were below 500 at home.
Told you, bro. They stink at home.
I didn't realize it.
They're so much better on the road.
So their OPS at home 736. Their OPS on the road 800. Their OPS on the road is 800 versus 736 at home.
Wow, like 64 points.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, man. Let's see. They're pitching at home. Their ERA at home is 4.24. Their ERA on the road 3.62.
My God.
What is that?
That's
6
insane.
points?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you come out hot, and I'm not going to say they win both in Houston, but if they win both in Houston, that's
and you just win. Like if you want to like give them the benefit of the doubt that they're so good on the road, and you just split at home.
Because you play 3 in a row in Texas. So
you play games 3, 4.
You're right. Yeah, it's 3. 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5. So,
fuck.
I mean, if you like, there's a chance. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's a chance they could win in 5, but I don't think they're going to win in 5. I think they're going to drop a game at home.
If I were,
drop a game on the road.
6.
I think 6 in Houston is where they do it. So
it'd be 6 and 7 at Houston.
6 and 7 at Houston, and I don't want to go to Game 7 at Houston. I think if we go to Game 7, I think Houston wins it.
Yeah, and you think about your pitching and stuff like that. What comes up in that scenario?
Exactly, and I think that's where you gotta. I think you have to take Game 1 because I think if Texas wins Game 1, that knocks Houston. That knocks Houston back. They're on their toe. They're on their heels. They're like, oh shit! Like just drop Game 1 at home. Stare down the barrel of a loaded gun. They rebound. Houston takes Game 2. Texas wins 3-4, and in Texas or in DFW lose Game 5 because Houston's trying to fight off elimination and they can't fight off 3 games in a row and they lose. Win Game 6, Texas. I think that's how it goes.
I think the Game 1 is even more crucial just because you're going to be facing one of the best pitchers in Justin Verlander, most likely. So you want to just
I think he's announced
make sure they're done and dusted.
Yeah, ESPN says that he's announced as the Game 1 starter. So
and like you're pretty decent against Framber Valdez too.
Yeah,
and then Urquidy, and then who's your other pitcher?
Dude, Christian Javier.
Oh, Christian Javier.
Hunter
that's what
Brown.
I was thinking of. I couldn't. Yeah,
Hunter Brown and Urquidy.
Yeah, Christian Javier is the other guy. So it's probably gonna go Verlander, Framber, Christian Javier, and then Urquidy.
Yeah, it's the 4.
It's probably their 4 guys.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised they were on a 4-man rotation. I mean, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's tough. I think we only got like a 3 right now.
Right now we got a 3.
Yeah.
And it's really a 2
barely
with
it's really only 2.
It's 2 with
and it's the combo.
Game. Yeah, the combo.
It's insane.
But NLCS, let's hit on that, and then we're
NLCS. We can go pretty quick briefly on this.
Quick.
We both thought that the Dodgers could do it. I mean, shit, why wouldn't you against the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, and I mean, the funny thing is, I got both the wild card predictions right, but I had no idea that they would. I guess like pretty much every single wild card team was just hot, like stayed hot.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if you want to do if everyone's been complaining about the playoff format.
Yeah, but
which is ridiculous. I mean, almost like you're getting like hurt for being the best team.
Yeah, but
they sit around for what, a week, almost, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you go back to the one game wild card. I think that's stupid. But I think that, I mean, what do you just expand it to 8 teams in? But the problem with that is who's going to be the fourth home team, right? Because you only have 3 divisions. So
No, yeah,
you
it's
give
tough. It's tough.
it just doesn't make sense. Like either shrink it back down to 4, or you go back to 8. You go up to 8. I think 6 is tough, and I don't know. I mean, you could probably get away with.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go
keeping,
up
Yeah,
because
so
people already don't like the extra playoff team, right? Because I mean, making playoffs is supposed to be valuable, quote unquote, and then you turn out like the NBA where 20 fucking teams make the fucking playoffs out of 30 now,
Yeah.
which is insane. I think they stick
Yeah.
like that, and like I think it's just too early. They just started doing this with the extra wild
the
card
second
and
year?
all that stuff. Yeah, I think second year. So they're
So
talking
you're
about it. I
right.
think Ken Rosenthal was like, I mean, it's a small sample size, you know. It's been 2 games, but like, yeah, all the higher seeds look like they're about to be out already.
Yeah, and I
Except for
don't
the
know.
Astros.
I mean,
The Astros seem fine.
Astros are fine. So I think that there's pros and cons to it, right? I mean, obviously, right, their arms have more rest, but I mean, they're also cold. They're not. It is what it is.
Yeah, the only people that benefit is the pitchers. The good thing is you get everyone healthy. Like, there's no excuses of like, oh, he plays blah 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 blah, and then. But the only thing is, I mean, you sit around for such a long time, like. You think like professionals and stuff, they know what they're doing and stuff, and it's like I don't know if you saw the interview with Freddie Freeman. He looks absolutely just, gosh, man, he just looks so dazed and lost in there. Like they're asking him all these questions, and he's just like, and they asked him about the playoffs. Said, do you think it's because of that? And he says, no, like
no,
we just weren't good enough.
Cold
like
at the wrong time. Yeah, it's to go cold.
And that's the thing. That's playoffs, dude. Like
that's baseball.
Teams
baby.
like the Rangers, the Diamondbacks, especially the Diamondbacks, can go on a run like this because just get hot at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like the NHL. It's like the NHL too, right? Like in playoffs in hockey, it's the old adage, like you just got to whatever goalie gets hot in the NHL, like that team has a higher chance of winning.
It was like Ottinger. Right? What was it? Was it
Otter 2 years ago?
Was it
2 years ago?
Yeah, when they were not supposed to be. Was it Stanley Cup or was it semis?
No, they went to the Stanley Cup. He like just
rode
him
and
the
like
Stanley
they
Cup.
were not supposed to be there, but Ottinger was just on fucking one, bro. Holy fuck!
You just get hot. Like it just is what it is. That's sports, man. Like you're rewarded by not having to play, and then I mean you just gotta get hot at the right time. I mean Astros proven that it's possible. You can win.
Yeah.
I mean Atlanta's still fighting. So I mean if you're a good enough team that you'll be able to turn it on when you need to, and Baltimore couldn't. I mean, Milwaukee couldn't, not Milwaukee. The Dodgers couldn't. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's sports.
And the thing is, the Dodgers, I give them props for what they did. I forgot how many wins they had. Were they were 90 like 100, something, right?
100. Oh yeah,
they had 100 wins.
Pretty. I think they had 100.
No, I think I think you're right. I think they actually did have 100.
They had.
Oh, why you get that?
100 exactly. 100 on the dot. 100 on the dot.
Okay, so. Obviously, I think exceeded expectations. Like I have some friends that are Dodger fans, and I mean, if you look at their roster, how depleted it is with the injuries and stuff like that, and if you go look at their starting lineup from like whatever, and you tell me how many guys you can recognize, like if you know more than like
it's not a ton.
4 or 5, and like for them to win that many games with the situation with ODS, no Walker Buehler, you lose
Gavin Lux, Dustin May, like you're losing like
Gavin
rotation
Lux, Dustin
arms.
May. Can't think of his name, but his nickname is the Catman. Like I literally think of his picture. Tony Gonsolin.
Yes.
I don't know if his first name's Tony. Is it Tony?
Yeah, it's Tony. It's Tony Gonsolin.
Yeah, Tony Gonsolin. You at some point they were showing throughout the season like they lost a whole like starting 5 that would be amazing on the IR or the IL. Like their start like that rotation would be insane, like one of the best in baseball. In their injury, and they had 4 rookies, I think. So they had Pepiot, Bobby Miller. He was supposed to be really good. I mean, I'm a big fan of his. He's going to be good at some point. And just other guys. I mean, then Kershaw gets absolutely rocked.
That picture.
Did you watch the game?
The picture. No, I didn't watch the game. But the picture of like every single playoff game where he's just on the bench, like just head in his hands. He's just like, oh my gosh.
And it's just not. He's not helping the case of him not being a big like playoff guy with his ERA being that high, especially after that he only didn't even get past first. But if you watch the game, on the very first play or the very first possible out, James Outman can't catch the ball, pops out of his glove. It's the first batter. It's the first out. You're like, okay, I got this. Guess what? Struggles, bro. Gives up. What was it? 7 or 8? or
Game
6.
one,
I think it was
yeah,
6.
it was 11-2,
Yeah, and I think he had given up 6.
and
But
yeah, he gave
yeah,
up
it
6.
just shows you with stuff like that. And like, I mean, again, give them props. They were able to win their division. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but I'm not as surprised. But I mean, a sweep was crazy. A sweep was crazy. I don't think we all expected that. And even more, the Braves to lose with the fucking roster they have. And I haven't heard a
Yeah.
lick of Acuna. Bryce Harper is stealing the show in that
Yes,
one,
bro.
dude.
Yes,
Stealing the
he's
show
going
with that one.
crazy.
Yeah.
'Cause
Did
what
you
was it
hear?
yesterday? I think
I brought it on here.
yesterday
Yeah. He got 2 homers.
Yeah, 2 home runs yesterday. Like,
Uh-huh.
he's one of those guys, right? That just turns up when you need him. Just one of those big game
And
players.
that playoff series, just like if you were to show, I think if you use that playoff series and find like I don't want to say a random that doesn't watch baseball because they could probably still find it boring, but just like someone that's starting to get into baseball and stuff like that, and you just show them that series, how electric it's been. Did you see the last play in the game 2 where Michael Harris makes that insane grab at the wall?
Okay, yes,
and then
yes,
doubles up Bryce Harper.
Yes, doubles up at first, right?
And ends the game.
Yeah, that's
like
so
that
crazy.
play itself, like just October, like that's October for you. And then talking about that play, talk about Orlando Arcia. Did you hear his comment that he said about Harper that allegedly wasn't supposed to be out there?
It wasn't supposed to be reported. No, what did he say?
Yeah, he was like,
I'm bad. I'm a bad. He
doesn't speak Spanish, or like he didn't say that, and it turned out he did say that.
Ooh.
But he did not think he was gonna be on the record for it, and some reporter just put it out there, and Bryce Harper took it personally when he jogged around the diamond, and just stared him down.
Ooh.
I think he just said, "Attaboy Harper." Like that's what the quote was after game 2 for getting doubled up.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but
you don't want to make a big game player mad. You don't.
And Bryce Harper took that shit personally.
Personal.
Yeah. So Diamondbacks go through. Phillies and Braves are playing again today. Spencer Strider's going to be on the mound. And everyone's been fucking cooking Strider. He's a big fan favorite, but ever since he had that interview on TikTok where he's like, oh, what's like your biggest hot take? He's like, ban fans from stadiums. Like, I want to play with no fans. And everyone is like ripping him and like
turning on him.
Yeah, Philly fans are like, Strider, you better be scared tomorrow. It's going to be louder today or tomorrow than it is today.
I can imagine.
So he's going to get, I wonder how he does today, but let's see. And it's a closeout game for him, so let's see if he's a big player too, like you said.
Yeah. And then I think Ranger Suarez, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's starting for Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think he's a decent. I don't think he's like he's average.
Special. Yeah, I
think he's average.
He had like a 4.18 ERA this year. So
yeah, I give it to him. He's a little bit above average or below average.
Yeah,
he can be good for you.
Whatever, man.
But against Spencer Strider, so yeah, that's gonna be maybe a closeout game for Philly, or they go back to Atlanta, and Atlanta goes through and probably still has a chance at the World Series.
Yeah. So, on the record, who do you think wins the series? Philly, Atlanta, and then who do you think wins the NL?
I think Philly, bro. I don't want to call out Atlanta like that, but I think Philly can end it even today. Just being again, like they had the advantage of being at home for 2 games in a row, and with the whole Spencer Strider thing. Yeah.
Philly wins tonight. Who do you have? Philly at Arizona.
Philly.
And Philly would have home field there too.
They would. Yeah.
Yeah. So
on the World Series too, if they were to go through. Well, actually.
Oh, because.
No, I think.
Who won the All-Star game?
Okay, so
is that what it is?
Because I saw. Nah, they don't even do that anymore.
They don't do that anymore.
I wish it was, because that makes it more like just makes the All-Star game more competitive. But they stopped doing that, so it's usually a higher seed.
Okay.
Or if it's not that, then it's based off your record.
Which
I think it goes record first, because my friend was telling me he's an Astros fan. He was already talking about the World Series, and I said, "All right, we'll do horses, buddy.
Come on out.
We'll do horses." But if it was Philly and Houston, Philly would have the tiebreaker, and they would have the home field advantage.
Is it because of their record or whatever?
They have the same record. They have the same record, but I think they have the better head-to-head. Even though the Astros won the division, and then the Phillies are a wild card.
Okay, so then that means that if Texas were to play Philly, we would have home field. Then.
I think we have home field. Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure we beat them head-to-head.
Yeah, because I think you're right. I think that was the opening series of the year, and they didn't have Harper then, so
I
think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
That
so I
makes
think
sense
if
to me.
with World Series was Rangers Phillies, I think Rangers have home field advantage.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't
That's
want to get
so
too ahead
crazy.
of myself, like I said, but
Hey, we gotta
fuck.
win one more game. Gotta win 4 more games. Let's get there.
I'm excited. But yeah, that's my prediction for NL. What you got?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think I got Philly. I got Philly taking it all. I think that what Arizona's done has been pretty impressive, and
Mm-hmm.
Zach Gallen has been dealing. I think it was
Dog,
that
yeah.
yesterday that he pitched, but like or the day before. I think
He had
I
pitched
saw
game
some of it.
2.
Yeah, like just like I
Yeah.
think that they're hot right now, and that's good. But I think Philly just like having that home field, I think is something that's so crazy. And I mean, they were
Mm-hmm.
what they were in the World Series last season, right? Or two years ago. It was really recently they were in the World
It was
Series.
Phillies. It was Phillies. It was
Yeah,
Phillies
it's
Astros,
Philly,
I
right?
think.
Yeah, so like
And they
they
started
have
off
that.
poorly, man.
Yeah,
And for them to
so
finish like this is crazy.
yeah, so I don't know, man. I think it's Philly. I think Philly, Texas, going go to the World
Hey, come
Series.
on now. Give it to
Hey,
him.
come on! I don't want to say no. I don't want to say it.
Hey. There you
But
go.
yeah, to go from a high to go to a low. We can quickly talk about the Cowboys and we wrap it up today.
Wait,
That'll
they
be it
they they
because
played this weekend? They played this past weekend, the Cowboys?
unfortunately, I don't. They were outscored by the Rangers on Sunday.
And we're not a baseball
Yes.
town, by the way. That's what I've been told.
No.
That's what I've been
Go
told.
on now.
That's what I've been
But
told.
yeah, so Cowboys were cooked by the Niners. I think it's pretty obvious, right? 42-10. Upsetting. Just not a lot went right. I think there was a lot of injuries. Leighton Vander Esch went down mid-game. Devontae Turpin caught a touchdown and then got hurt. Donovan Wilson's
Mm-hmm.
hurt. Just looked pretty piss poor. I don't know. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to
Hey,
say.
you
I
don't
think it
have
was
to
just,
start. I can save you right here. You don't have to
yeah.
start if you don't want to. I won't blame you if you don't want to
Okay.
do this.
How about this? I'll give you 2 questions. I'll give you 2 questions.
Okay, let's hear it.
And
Let's hear it.
we'll wrap
Yeah.
it up. All right, CeeDee Lamb. Let's talk about him.
Mhm.
Obviously, right? He's pretty low. Like hasn't really been targeted that much this year. You know, I was kind of expecting him to break out this year and argue for that top. Let's say that Justin Jefferson, that Jamar Chase, the Jalen Waddle kind of level from him this year,
Mhm.
but it hasn't happened. Do you think that with the low production, and obviously, right, Jerry Jones coming out saying like, "Oh, we don't need him to get a ton of targets. We want to spread the ball evenly." Do you think that one? Do you think that's a problem? And then 2, how far off from the top tier wide receiver in NFL do you think he is?
One, do I think what is a problem? What Jerry Jones said, or if CeeDee Lamb is a problem?
Both.
I don't think CeeDee Lamb is a problem. Let's talk about the guy under center, right?
Okay.
I mean, and like he's doing what he's given. Like whatever is taken in front of him is what he's doing. I think it's harsh to really judge him. I don't want to say it's early in the season, but just the way this offense plays, like what are you supposed to do about that?
Yep.
You can almost even like, I'm gonna bring soccer into this. I don't know how many people are gonna understand this, but it's like playing for Atletico Madrid, right? Like João Felix, and like just the way they play, like the style under like Simone, like, and now it's gonna be with like with Simone and compare him to McCarthy, but just the way they play, you do what you're given to, and like what do you? Almost like if you're just like locked up within all the special abilities you can do, and obviously we've seen CeeDee Lamb. We saw the jump last year. Every single year we've seen the jump, and now you switch your offense all up, and it's not still haven't. The one big play that happened was the Cavante Turpin touchdown. So far, that's the biggest play I think we've seen this year. Other than Cavante Turpin's like the reverse jet sweep and all that shit that he did the week before, but I don't think you can. I mean, if you're just a person that doesn't watch games, looks at stats and goes, "Oh, look, CeeDee Lamb's shit. I told you guys, he's not a wide receiver 1," which is stupid. Like you can't just say that. Yeah, if you sit there and watch the games and know the type of offense is being run here, it's just. I mean, it was working like for the shitty teams, but then you obviously come to a team like this and look, shut you up.
Good coach.
Literally have no answer.
Yeah, and I think that's my overarching problem with the offense right now. You could say what you want about Dak. I think he didn't play well. I think it's pretty obvious, right? He hasn't really played outstanding all season long. But I think the bigger problem is lying with the offensive scheme, because I watched like videos of, I think it was Fred Warner, the linebacker for San Francisco, and he's like,
Dude, he loves playing against us.
he like breaks down the plays like, oh yeah, you know exactly what's coming. Like Dallas
Oh,
loves
I
to run
saw
crossing
that.
routes. They love to run crossing routes. And the moment that I see CD motion, I know he's gonna run a crossing route. And the instant I see him and the tight end across the way running crossing routes, I jump the ball, I jump the routes, throw them both off their routes, and then I force Dak to try and make a play. He can't make a play because nobody's open, because our secondary, like the route combinations that we have on the back end, are all covered. So Dak has no time. He has to get out of the pocket, and then instantly it's one-on-one Fred Warner versus Dak, and Fred Warner just makes a play and sacks him. So it's just, I think that, I want to say like how much of the loss is Dak Prescott's fault, which I think part of it is, sure.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is just like the offensive scheme is just not working. It's not. Like, I mean, CeeDee Lamb is our by far wide receiver one, right?
Yeah.
But he's got 360 yards on the season, one touchdown.
In what, 5 games?
In 5 games, he's averaging 72-ish yards. Like Tony Pollard is our RB1, and he's averaging like 68 yards a game. It's just, and Dak himself is averaging 212. Like, it's just, I think the offensive scheme. It's the offensive scheme, and it's just, unless something changes on the offensive like play calling, I think we're not gonna be set up for success either way.
And what do? Do you just dump it now, the West Coast offense? Like, or what do you do?
I think that you got to throw something in there. You got to put.
Or you
You
let
got to
like
push the ball.
Schottenheimer actually take over now?
I don't know. I think you got to push the ball vertically. I think that's what you got to do, because I think everything we do is crossing routes.
Yeah,
it's
it's
short.
all cross
It's
routes. That's what the West Coast offense is. Yeah.
The West Coast offense is, and it's trying to take what the defense gives you, but like you have to take the top off the defense. You have Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is a wide receiver that is known for taking the top off of defense. He's got 9 receptions for 73 yards this year. That can't happen. Cannot happen. And I think that like Michael Gallup is a great jump ball threat. Like put them on the outside, let them run verts, let CD Cook run in that 15-yard dig, 10-yard dig, get Jake Ferguson running the flats. Like, I think that's what you got to do.
It's and you start to wonder, like, I don't know if you know the reason. I mean, I don't know I can't think of right now the reason of why they switched to West Coast, but you even start to wonder if it's to protect the quarterback and what happened last year with the interceptions. I think that's everyone's assumption of why they're playing like this.
Dak has 4 interceptions on the season. Like,
3 last game.
He throws 12. He throws 12 interceptions on the season. I think that's fine.
Yeah,
that's average. Is what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I think something obviously has to change. I back to your question. I don't think it's CeeDee Lamb and how far he is from being the top, like, let's say, like in that 4 through 8 range.
Top 5. Yeah,
top 5. Can't be that far. I don't think he's that far as much as people think. He had a really big jump last year. He's a dog, dude. And a lot of people question it for a long time if he was able to be wide receiver 1 after Amari Cooper left.
Yeah.
If anything, I just think this team itself is holding him back. It's nothing against his case.
I think that and I think that's it. I think ability-wise, I think he's easily a top 6 or so wide receiver in the NFL.
You put him wherever you want. Yeah.
It's just he can run the outside, he can run the slot, he can run in the backfield if you really want to put him there. Like, he's tough. He makes contested catches. Like, he makes catches over the middle. He makes big plays. Like, if you need him to. Like, I think that he's he has the ability to be a top 6 receiver. I just don't think we're utilizing him that way. And I think that's my biggest gripe with this offense is I think the play calling sucks. I think that's what's got to change. I think you got to push the ball down the field. I think that's you got to throw some deep routes. You got to connect on them, and I think that stands on Dak. But I think that your receivers have to get open. You got to take some shots, and you got to connect on them, because that's the only way you take the top off the defense. You push the safeties back, you push the corners back. That allows a little bit more room for you to work underneath in the slot with the tight ends, with the running backs. And I think that opens up a lot more, but I think they're just playing it too conservatively. And then, like, in the last game, your offense can't get going. They have 6 yards in the first quarter allows the 49ers offense to stay on the field. Defense gets tired, they give up big plays, and then at the end of the day, they're giving up 42 points whenever they're not a team that really is that bad. They're not. Their defense is not that bad. It's just they were on the field for so long, they got so tired that, like, what are you going to do? You can't do anything about it. You can't stop them. So I think that it all goes back to the offense moving the ball, pushing the ball down the field, connecting on some deep shots, taking more chances, and you got to trust that Dak's going to allow you to make a play, and you got to give the ball to your playmakers. And I think CeeDee Lamb's a playmaker. Brandon Cooks is a playmaker.
Easily.
Like, Kevontae Turpin's obviously a playmaker. He's making big plays. Well, you got to keep doing stuff like that, because if you don't, then you're in for another performance like we had on Sunday night.
Do you think the score reflects how far off we are to the 49ers?
No, I don't. I said it last week. I don't think that we're going to beat the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl this year. I don't. But we're not 32 points worse than the 49ers. No way. Not in the slightest.
Yeah, I think on top of how bad the offense looked and just the defense, and Trayvon Diggs clearly has been a big missing part in this team.
100%.
You know, it's just one guy, and now you lose Van Der Esch, and you're probably you're moving Micah to linebacker now, most likely.
Yeah.
On top of that, nothing was going your way. Absolutely nothing. The fumble from Tony Pollard's run from his own end zone, inches, centimeters away from going out of bounds, stays in.
Yeah, it's just a random bounce that's lucky. Like,
exactly. So, like, on top of, there's other things too that I can't think of right now because obviously I tried to sleep and forget about that game. Yeah. But clearly, just on top of that, nothing was going your way, so it just wasn't helping. Helping. So,
and I think that's it. I think that the parity between the two teams will show throughout the season. I think the Cowboys are going to bounce back. I mean, we have the Chargers coming up this week,
Monday night. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that I think this is something that is going to cause McCarthy to kind of look in the mirror and say, okay, like, this Texas Coast offense, like, what are we looking like? What do we need to do? How can we improve on it? How can we put our team in a position that we can actually win a game and our offense can score points? Because they haven't done it this year. They haven't done it yet. So I think that's the big question, and that's the defense has proven that you can win a game and that it can win a game on its own. But now you need to see, like, okay, we got to go up against the offense that's going to score 35 points. Well, we got to score 38. We got to score 42.
And I'm not too confident in that if you were to ask me right now, obviously.
Right now, absolutely not. Absolutely not confident. But you have to progress through the season to get to that point where you can say, like, they can do that. And we've seen them do it in the past. We saw them, like, with this pretty close to the same personnel. We saw them do it. And they just haven't done it yet. And I think that comes back to play calling.
Just chopping it up over there. We'll see you Monday night.
I hope not. We'll see you Monday night. Monday night. But that's all I got, man. The Cowboys are depressing. I want to get back to the good stuff.
Yeah, depressing.
You know. Yeah. But if you don't got anything else, man, we can wrap it up. Final thoughts? I think you have a YDKB. You have a YDKB, don't you? I know.
I do.
Yeah, let's do that. We can wrap it up from there.
Oh, yeah. So, YDKB, if you don't know what that is, you don't know ball. But if you have listened to us, thanks. But clearly, two people you listen to right now do not know ball. So, we completely got... Well, I mean, Atlanta could still technically win. But we had, on the bracket, we had Rangers, Astros, and then we had... Dodgers and Philly to win, and or Dodgers and Atlanta, my bad. And that did not happen. We completely fucked it. And there's some other guy I think you said that doesn't know ball that I think all the Ranger fan base can agree with you.
Yeah, I think that John Smoltz, the former Atlanta Braves pitcher, current Fox Sports commentator, I think he doesn't know ball. I think the whole Baltimore series, if you watch the games, all he was doing was ranting about Baltimore and basically just, like, saying, like, how much they were cheated by having to sit and wait and allow the Rangers to play, and just talked so glowingly about Baltimore and didn't say jack shit about the Rangers really positively.
Yeah, I feel like he almost didn't give any props to them. He was giving, like, not even like excuses. He was just like, oh, like, if you're Baltimore, you should still be proud of your season. Like, this is whatever. And I'm just like,
And I think as the Rangers were winning Game 3 and like closing it up, he was talking about, Baltimore will be back next season. Like they have such a bright future, all this stuff. Like, why don't you talk about the team that's winning the game, that's winning the series, that's going to the ALCS, not the team that is about to lose.
Yeah, because I promise you, if it was the other way around, we're not getting any type of love as he was loving Baltimore. Like, there's just no way.
No, bro, he was glazing them the entire series.
I was lucky enough that I didn't. So obviously, I didn't listen to Game 3. Game 1, I was at Boomers.
Game 1, he was glazing them too. He was glazing Baltimore the entire series. So it's just like,
oh god.
I don't know. One, it's the disrespect to the Rangers that pisses me off. Two,
Yeah, and I love it. Keep it coming.
That's what makes me mad. Go ahead, keep disrespecting them. That's fine. Sure,
Please
disrespect us this week, and I guarantee that's what the narrative's going to be. Narrative's going to be,
yeah.
I
think
Rangers.
I think it's the same crew. If I'm not mistaken.
I hope so. I hope he glazes the Astros. Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like if they needed more. Oh gosh.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what we got. I want to say we were gonna be short and sweet, but we kind of stick to regular length. So
yeah, we did. We didn't cover as much, but we did cover a lot.
We're in depth with the two big things going on. So yeah. Man, as the Ranger season is hopefully keeping going, and Cowboys kind of picking up. Mavs are starting to pick up. Stars start tonight. FC Dallas is kind of getting down to the playoffs. So as seasons kind of progress, we'll kind of move and shift in what we're talking about and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's kind of all we got today. Ollie, you got any final thoughts? Anything you wanna part to the fine listeners?
We want Houston.
Hey, come on now. Come on now.
Yeah, no.
But, well, guys, thank you so much for listening. That was another episode of Austin and Ollie in the books. Next week, tune in. It's just going to be an Ollie solo pod. We may have an interview. Maybe.
Yes. We'll see what goes there. Yes.
Working on a little something. So I think the next 2 weeks, it'll be a little bit shorter. Ollie kind of just hit on the Rangers and Cowboys and stuff like that. And then kind of take it from there because he'll be running a solo pod while I'm out of town. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I'll see you guys next week. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for listening. Go Rangers. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.